The High Court has ruled that the Justice Secretary was wrong to stop the BBC filming a terrorism suspect held for 7 years without trial. The court said there was a public interest in interviewing Babar Ahmad because of the case's exceptional nature. Ken Clarke had argued an interview wasn't necessary to inform the public about Mr Ahmad's story. Our legal correspondent is Clive Coleman. Clive, really, we should start by just explaining who Babar Ahmad is.
Absolutely. Babar Ahmad is a British Muslim. He's a terrorist suspect. He was first arrested actually in 2003. He wasn't charged. He was injured during that arrest, and listeners may remember that in due course he actually received £60,000 compensation from the Metropolitan Police, and last year the 4 officers concerned went on trial. They were all acquitted of assault. However, he was arrested again in 2004 following a request from the United States for his extradition on terrorist charges, and the allegations were that he'd been using the internet to raise money for insurgents in Afghanistan and in Chechnya, and he's been in custody ever since. 7.5 years is thought to be the longest period that a British national who has not been charged with a criminal offence has been detained in custody. Now, because of that and other reasons, there was a lot of interest in his case. The BBC wanted to carry out an interview with him. There are strict rules about interviews between contact between journalists and those in custody, and the BBC were not complaining about those rules, but what they were saying was this was an exceptional case, exceptional because of the length of time, because of the initial assault or injury to Babar Ahmad, I should say. And also last year, an e-petition in support of Babar Ahmad gained 140,000 signatures, and that's 40,000 above the sort of benchmark that potentially entitles it to a debate in the Commons. So because of all of that and other things, the BBC were very keen to interview him. And Ken Clarke said, no, you can't.
What will happen now, though, because the High Court has ruled that Ken Clarke was wrong to stop the BBC filming the interview. What will happen with the interview now?
Yeah, I mean, today the High Court said that the decision that Ken Clarke took was disproportionate. It was incompatible with the Article 10 right to freedom of expression. Interestingly, not just the freedom of expression of the BBC and Babar Ahmad, but also the British public. Mr Justice Singh said that it was important that people were informed about this and that they were able to debate the issue. The Ministry of Justice have made it clear that they will now accede to the interview. It will now take place. And arrangements have to be made for that to happen. But he will be interviewed now, and that will be broadcast.
OK, Clive, thank you. We can also speak to Babar Ahmad's father, Ashfaq. Hello, Ashfaq.
Hello.
You must be very happy.
Yes, I'm very pleased. Very pleased to hear this decision, and I must congratulate the BBC. And it is actually a great victory, and it will set a sort of precedent. And it has never happened before, as far as I can think, that somebody in the prison will be allowed to be interviewed, and the world and people all around in the country here.
Yes,
they would like. Yeah.
But Mr. Ahmad, is that necessarily a good thing? Because you'll know that lawyers for Ken Clarke had argued that by allowing this one interview, you set a precedent, you open the floodgates to many more such stories. I mean, they're arguing this was exceptional, but that's the concern, isn't it?
Well, actually, this is an exceptional case, as you said, and because somebody who has been in prison without trial, without charge for 7 years, it has never happened before. That's another thing, and that is why this is an exceptional case, and there's public interest. And of course, it's a prisoner's freedom of right as well, freedom of speech as well, that he should tell in his own words what has gone through his mind, how he has been going through, what sort of life he has been living there and all that. So it's very, very important that people should know.
What is your information, finally? I don't know if you do know, but when this interview is now going to be carried out?
I'm afraid I don't know anything about that when the interview is going to be. And one more thing I would like to add here, that CPS should bring any evidence against him. They should bring it to the court, and Babar should be tried in this country.
OK, Ashfaq Ahmad, thank you very much. He is the father of Babar Ahmad.